Hey everybody, welcome in the kitchen with Tally Faye. Hope everybody's doing good today. Having a good day and a good evening. Actually, it's in the evening time, getting on up in it, and I'm fixing to get in here and fix Buzz and I some supper. And I thought I would show y'all this little simple meat dish thing that I'm going to make up for us. It's regular old just fried steak and smothered in gravy, and you put it in the oven and let it cook, okay? And it's cube steak. So I'm going to show y'all how I do that now. Now what I'm doing tonight is just for the two of us. So I'm trying to cut down on not just making it so hard when you've been cooking all your life for you know, big family meals and stuff and everything, which I know is what most of y'all have to do. But excuse me. Dang. Tickle. Anyway, you know, it's hard to cut down on or figure out how to not cook big quantities when you've been doing that all your life. But I'm getting better at it. But anyway, my whole point is that you can do this exact same thing that I'm doing with as many pieces of cube steak as you want. You just have to make, you know, a larger amount of gravy to go on your meat. And I'm going to show you how I make the gravy and all that and everything. But first thing we're going to do is get started with the meat here. Okay, so I'm going to put my phone down here like this. Alright, and what I want you to see first, I've got my grease getting hot in my skillet, okay? And so for Buzz and I only have in our deal is two large cube steaks. Now I want you to see how big this thing is. That makes a heck of a chicken fried steak, y'all. That's what I love about these things. That makes a delicious chicken fried steak. But that's not what I'm fixing tonight. So I'm going to take this one big one, and see, I cut it down the middle and crossways, like, ooh, there we go, down the middle and crossways like this, and that gives me 4 pieces of each. So I'm going to have 8 pieces of this meat, and I think you can see from right there. I'm going to show you. I'm just take it, and I like to use my scissors. It's so much easier. Just take it and cut it down the middle like that, and then I'm just going to take that and cut it in half. So see, then I have these pieces like this. And I'm going to do it one more time. You can cut it into as many pieces as you want, I guess, you know, but this makes the perfect plate of them for what I'm doing here. Let me wash this off my hands. Okay. So see, now I've got my meat like that, and I just have one of these, just a all-purpose seasoning thingy, I'm gonna call it. You can put on there whatever you want. The main thing is that you want some salt and pepper and maybe some garlic powder, and this thing pretty much has, this deal pretty much has all of it in there. Let me see if I can. There we go. Mixed up salt, it says. Anyway, it's just one I found. It's not something but anyway, I'm just going to take it and just shake it all over this meat like that. And that's not coming out fast enough for me. There we go. Now we got some action going here. I'm going to pat that in there, and I'm going to flip it over a little bit. Do it like that. Put me some more on there. And I've got my meat seasoned up. My grease is almost hot. I can feel that heat coming off there. But what I have here, and this is my meat flour pan, I call it. This has just got my salted flour in it, and I use this over and over. I will do this meat in it here in a minute, and then when I'm cleaning up the dishes, I take this and I sift it out, and it gets all the little crumbs out of it, and then I just keep me a towel over it, and I have salted flour ready for my frying meats all the time, for frying chicken or whatever, pork chops. But see, I have nothing else on there, and I'm not going to do anything else to it. I'm just going to take it and put it in And see, that's all I want. I just want it lightly floured, just like that, right? I'm gonna go ahead. I know my grease is hot, I can feel it, so I'm gonna get it loaded and get my meat to frying. Now, another thing is, I have my oven preheating right now on 350 degrees, okay? Because we don't want it, this meat, we're not gonna try to cook it all the way through. We're just wanting to get a crust on it. That is all I'm doing here. So I'm gonna get this in this skillet and get that part done. Get that whooped out. It's that simple right there, right? Let's get it frying. Now get me a crust on it. We're gonna take it up. And we're gonna put it in a dish and put some gravy and onions over it. Put the lid on it, and I'm gonna put it in the oven. There we go. That's that, okay? Let me wipe my hands off, y'all. Okay, so see, I've just got it frying. So, that's all I'm gonna be doing right now. Getting this meat to frying. And, I'll show you. I've got, for just Buzz and I, this is the size dish that I'm going to be using for us, see? And I'll just get this meat and I'm going to lay it in here. And we will make our gravy and put over it. And we're going to put it in the oven with the lid on it at 350. And you want it covered pretty tightly. And you don't want to mess with it. Just put it in there. And you're going to leave it alone. And we're going to let it cook in the oven for an hour, sitting in there bubbling and getting all tender, and the gravy and stuff working down on it and all that. But let me get this meat fried up, and I'll be back and show you what I'm doing there. Alright, that took all of, I don't know, 4 minutes of me doing that, because I want y'all to see that I'm just barely, let me put it on here where you can see it. But see there, I'm just barely frying it. Like I say, I'm not trying to cook it through, right? We're just getting it kind of browned on the outside there. So I'm gonna get that now, get it taken up and put on this little paper towel. Let it sit there and drain. And see, I got all kind of giblet goodies floating in my skillet there. And I want some of them in there, but I gotta dump some of this grease off of here. So I'm gonna take that, I'm gonna move this first. Let me see if I can do it. I hope this little pot will hold what I'm doing here. We're gonna take this grease. And I'm just gonna pour it up out of here because I need me some left for making my gravy, right? And I want all those drippings, all those goodies in there. So see, that's kind of where I'm at on it. You see that? Alright, right back down here on the fire. Let me move this pot of hot grease out of my way. Set it over here. Don't want to have a fumble with that. That'd be a mess. Okay, so now, get my stuff back over here like I wanted. I got my fire cranked up on it, and now I'm fixing to get me some flour. I'm going to get me some clean flour out of my flour bucket. I'm not going to use my flour that I did my meat in because it's all salted and everything. This little thing here is 1/3 of a cup. We're going to see how much I'm on. Yeah, I don't need quite that 1/3 of a cup in this. Okay? Let me get me a whisk here. And you can use whatever you want to start with, but I like to use the whisk and get it all stirred up in there. And get my flour to browning good. Okay. And remember, I've already, seasoned my meat with that season all thingy, but I'm still going to put me some salt and pepper in here. You know, that's kind of up to you on how salty you want stuff, but we like for our gravy to have a, let me get my, hold on just a second. Okay. Get us turned back around here. Okay. We like for our gravy to have some pretty good bit of salt and pepper in it, but there again, that's up to you, okay? And there's my pepper. Now I'm going to get me a big old glass of just water, y'all. Just water, that's all I need. And my other little ingredient that I like to do with my gravy, which I've showed y'all this before, and that's leftover coffee. Okay? Alright. Got that in there, and I'm going to add me some coffee to it now. This coffee gives it a good burnt roux flavor. You know how you kind of burn your roux for gravies and stuff like that? You want to burn it a little bit when you're browning it, in other words. Well, that's all it is. That coffee gives it a good browned, extra browned flavor in there. So, and I don't want to make this real thick because I'm going to pour it over that meat when I get it in this dish. And that meat already has that floured crust on it, right? So that's going to make a thickness to it. All we got to do is get this back to bubbling, and once it starts bubbling, you'll see how thick it's going to become. And I always have me some extra water ready and waiting in case it starts getting too thick. Gravy's just one of them things you have to practice at, but you get to where you can do it with a breeze. It don't take nothing. It's not as hard as people make it out to be. Once you get the main understanding down of how it's, you know, coming together. You get it to come together, then you got it made. All right, it's not taking long now. We're going to pour this over that meat. Y'all, it is so good. And it's so easy when you do. I'm going to keep letting it bubble a minute. It's so easy when you do this and you're busy and stuff. You know, you can get your meat fried, get it in your dish, make you up a little thing of gravy. And if you can't make gravy, you can use those packets of brown gravy mix if you like those. It works the same way, but make them watery. Be sure and make them thinner than what the recipe on the package calls for. But you really need to do this. This makes it good, y'all. This makes it good, okay? But do what you want to on that, but it's still the same process, all right? All right, let me put you back down here. Our gravy, look at it. Boy, that's ready to eat right now. But I want it a little, like I say, I want it a little watery, so I'm going to add me some more water to that. Just because. Stir that around in there. And my gravy's fixing to be ready, y'all. As soon as this starts bubbling, I'll give it another little stir. But the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my little meat pieces and just lay them in here for Buzz and I. And then I'm going to take me, I've got one onion, and it's a small onion. And I'm just going to take it and put it around the top of it, just layer it on the top of them. Boy, my knife isn't very sharp. I need to get hold of this booger with a knife sharpener. Let me get this onion all piled on here. Alright, I got it done like that, y'all. That's it. My gravy's done. It's ready. Get it stirred up a little bit there. Alright, and now I'm just going to take it and I'm fixing to dump it in this dish here, right on top of my meat. Meat and onions. Y'all, this is some good stuff, and it sure is easy. It is easy to make. Don't ever think you can't make some good homemade stuff like that. Alright, so see, all I'm going to do is take my little lid. I'm going to put that lid on it. Just like this, y'all. There it is. I'm going to take that, I'm going to put it in my oven, and I'm going to leave it in there for a good hour. A good hour, okay? Just leave it in there undisturbed. And when your hour's up, you will have a delicious dish of meat and gravy and onions ready to go on some mashed potatoes or rice or whatever. I'm going to make us some mashed potatoes with ours tonight and everything. And anyway, I'll do that, and I'll show you how it looks when it gets done an hour from now. Alright, y'all, it's been an hour. I'm fixing to get this oven steak out of here. Let me get it out of here and show y'all how good it looks. Ooh, buddy, I better be careful there. Y'all. I'm telling you, this is one of the ways to go. Let me put my phone down here. See if I can get it off of there without... Woo! Lordy, lordy, lordy. That booger's bubbling, isn't it? Look at that. Oh my goodness, y'all. Can y'all see that? Look at that. This is the way to go, y'all. This is oven steak. Tally Faye's oven steak. This is how I do it. And I'll show you up close. I'm just going to dip some up on this little saucer just so I could show you. And y'all, the thing is, I mean, again, I'm telling y'all, I'm making, this is a small dish of it, right? Because it's just Buzz and I. But you can feed a crowd of people with this. And it is delicious, y'all. And it really is simple on you. Once you get it in the oven, say you cook this and make a big old pot of mashed potatoes. You know, get this. You can make a 9 by 13 pan filled up with these pieces of meat like this, and make you a big old skillet of gravy. Cut you a big old couple of onions up on there, and put that gravy over it, and put that foil or something on it. Like I'd have to use foil. I don't have a covered 9 by 13 pan for baking in the oven. So, you know, you can. I'm just saying that you can feed a crowd with this, and they would be just oohing and ahhing over it, because this is some good home cooking right here, y'all, doing it like that. And come up with a side dish along with your potatoes or something, and you can feed a crowd of people. Make you a big thing of deviled eggs or a salad, and fix this oven steak, big pot of mashed potatoes. Somebody will be loving you. It's good stuff, y'all. Oven steak. The Tally Faye way. Listen, I hope y'all have a great evening. We're going to get in here and enjoy our supper tonight. And we done went and voted. Hope everybody goes and votes. And get that under your belt. And have a blessed evening. And everybody have a great morning tomorrow morning, and wake up happy and thankful. And I'll see y'all next time. Thank y'all for everything. In the Kitchen with Tally Faye.